Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Disney's My Music Story, Sukimaswitch, or Sukimaswitch. It is sometimes there's a break between Sukima and Switch. In this case, it's all one word. Not sure why. This is a kind of a behind-the-scenes documentary of this music group out of Japan. It's from 2020. It is an hour and 21 minutes long, and just sort of gives you behind the scenes of them preparing for a show or a series of shows. It gives you a little history on where they came from, what their music is like, what their inspirations are, and also how Disney fits into all this. Because, yeah, just like the other ones we had one about a week ago, a little bit more than a week ago, and which was Perfume, a J-pop girl group. Who are all very much about the synchronized dancing and just the artistry of all that. We had one at Yokishima. I'm not sure which one, but it was a while ago. It was like 1,000 episodes ago. I'm not kidding. It was probably about 1,000 episodes ago. This is Sukimaswitch, and it is mainly about two guys. Their names are Takoya Ohashi and Shintaro Tokita, and I am sure I messed that up. The inflection and the phrasing and all of that, and I'm sorry. I am sorry. So very sorry. So yeah, it's just a documentary. I don't know anything about this group. They mainly pay. The funny thing is about this is that you go about 20 minutes into this, and you still don't know what type of music they play if you don't already know who they are. There's lots of just them sitting around, one guy talking, the other guy going, uh-huh. Or then the other guys gets a few words in, and the other guy's just like, yeah. So we get an idea of where they come from, how they got to know each other, and how they work together. And if you're into music and how it's made, if you're a musician yourself and you want to understand how this all comes together, yeah, this is going to be interesting for you. Well, especially if you're a fan of Japanese music and this band specifically. And just so you know, it is mainly two guys, but it is a much larger band. If anything, there's sort of like a jazz pop kind of thing going on. I know that's probably an inadequate description of their music. It's pretty laid back. It's positive. It is not overly intense, and I know somebody will take issue with this comparison, but it's kind of like some of the more laid-back songs from the Bare Naked Ladies. Yeah, it's not My Apartment. You know, it's not those pop songs that Bare Naked Ladies put out in the '90s that everybody knew. 1 week, things like that. No, it's their own thing. So we get a few songs from them, about 3 or so songs from them. Unfortunately, when they perform those songs, we just get singing in Japanese as a subtitle. And yes, if you don't know Japanese, you're going to need the subtitles for this, because they are not subtitled automatically. There are no subs or dubs in this. So yeah, I had to turn on the subtitles, and so the next thing I end up watching will end up having the subtitles on it as well until I turn them off. That said, it's a little frustrating when it just says singing in Japanese for their pop songs, but of course, because this is Disney, they do a few other songs from the Disney catalog, particularly, the animation stuff. I think they did 3. I know they did a Toy Story, You Got a Friend in Me, of course. Excuse me. Excuse me. And they did How Far I'll Go from Moana. And it's their take on it. It's not, note for note exactly the way. The vocals are pretty much the same, but now the subtitles are on because it's Disney and they know the words. So, and then they did a third song, and my brain is just, it's a song, I think, from Onward, the lesser seen Tom Holland and Chris Pratt movie that came out during the pandemic, that came out literally as the pandemic started, and nobody went to the theaters. They shut down the theaters, and nobody got to see the film, which sucks, because I really liked it. So, worth checking out, also on Disney Plus. How's that for cross promotion? So yeah, it's they do a few songs of their own, few songs out of Disney, and if you're like, oh, well, that's a neat take on that song, but they only played like 30 seconds of it. That's unfortunate. Well, you have to wait till the end of the show. So with about 25 minutes or so left in the show, so a little bit more. It's a little less than an hour. Of just them talking about the music and the making of the music and their history and everything else. The last 20 minutes or so is them actually performing the full songs from the show. So if you feel like you're like, I'm not getting enough in the main part of the content, you can just wait to the very end. If you don't want to hear about how the making of, you just want to hear how they interpret songs you already know from the Disney catalog, you just go to the end. 20 minutes to go, credits, and then their performances. So that's pretty fun. So highly recommend this if music and music exploration and just looking for a different type of music than if you're, American who listens to just, American music. There's a good chance you'll get an appreciation out of this, their own original stuff. Like I said, it's pretty positive and upbeat kind of stuff. Or maybe it's not your thing. I don't know. But it's worth checking out. I think these guys are talented and could use a new audience, maybe. You never know. Let's pick tomorrow's episode before my battery runs out. 176. Oh, please don't die on me. Okay. Oh, 176. Thought it was a documentary for a second. We've got a movie for the first time in a long time. Yeah, but it's a movie. It's an old Disney, I believe it's a Disney Channel movie. It feels like it would have been a major motion picture that just had a silly name, but I'm thinking of Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. That's a completely different thing. This does have to do with a mom. This is Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. So yeah, if anything is going to be a Disney Channel movie, it's going to be a movie called Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire on the next Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that. Bye.